welcome back for the first show of the off season for the NHL because the season is complete yesterday with the win of the Panthers. And we're going to go to the subject we got for tonight. We have a lot of subject to talk about. First of all, this is the week of the NHL Draft 2024. And then the UFA is coming after that next week. Then after that, we're going to go diving a little bit more, a little bit more rest because it's going to be very quiet. We have a couple of camp after usually the draft. Each team does come the development camp for them for a couple of days. We're going to check this for the Montreal Canadiens. We talk about the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Talk about the NHL. Talk about the news. Talk about the victory of the big game, Game 7 yesterday between the Oilers and of course the Panthers, and then go to flow around the Montreal Canadiens, couple of news around the team, and what could happen during the Friday night at the NHL Draft 2024 in Vegas. So that's what we got for you, each one of you. Tonight we're going to talk about whatever you have a question, anytime, just to put the little Q in front of your question so we can answer that, and one at a time. And that's what we have for you guys tonight on the great Tuesday night, June 25th, 2024. Unbelievable when you think about this. The final game of the season, June 24th. That's crazy. We're almost in July, and we still play hockey. It is what it is, right? At the end of the day, hopefully you have a great, you really liked the game yesterday between the Oilers and the Panthers. For me, it was a very exciting game, and it was fun to watch for sure. I'm not alone. What do you mean not alone? Every night, guys, we have some people join me live. And tonight we have a special guest. Tomorrow night we have Marco Larabi and Franks is going to join, both of them going to join me live, 8:30 again. Then Thursday night we have the return of Michael DeVillano with Marco with me. And then Friday night we have Mr. Enortap is going to be live streaming for the big night of the NHL Draft 2024. But again, he's back in the house tonight. Directly from Toronto, the legend, the greatness. We're talking about who? I'm talking about, of course, Mr. Enortap is in the house tonight. Here we go, Mr. Enortap. Welcome back in the house on the great Tuesday night, June 25th, 2024. On I don't know what the weather is in Toronto. It looks like it's still hot in your area, right?
Yeah. Today was a little bit overcast, Coach. First of all, welcome and thank you for having me as well. It's always great to be together with you and the rest of Hockey Nation, but especially at the end of the hockey season, a long, grueling season and playoff, and we're almost ready for the exhibition camp for Montreal, not that far away.
Exactly. You know, if you think about this, Montreal Canadiens got eliminated, and then the end of the season was what, April 13 or April 15, right? And since that night, when they got eliminated, played game number 82 of the season. The only hope for the Montreal Canadiens fan was to wait for the NHL draft. That's pretty much what you have to do. For about 6 weeks, we wait for that great special night is going to happening in Vegas, Friday night, June 28th. And a lot of fans are excited and, of course, anxious to know who's going to be number 5th overall pick for the Montreal Canadiens. That's fun option. We're going to talk about this a bit more later in the show, Mr. Enortap, if you don't mind. We have a few people in the chat tonight. And they are coming from everywhere around the world. Let's see what we got here. First of all, Luciano Moderator already knocked the door, Mr. Enortap. Is in the house tonight. Not too bad. At the beginning of the show like this, we're going to fix this very quickly, Mr. Enortap. We're going to put him on the right position. Now we got that one. And we'll see. Go back here. Go back there. And go back up. There we go. Got this. Don't forget, everybody, click on the X. Mr. Roy from Bangkok is in the house, Mr. Enortap, tonight. Roy, happy Wednesday morning. For us, it's Wednesday morning.
Good morning.
Cloudy, Mr. Enortap. The raining season is on in Thailand, Mr.
Yuck.
Yeah, it's not sunshine, not allowed, but it's okay. Claude Richard, the captain du Canada, the captain d'Ottawa. Et de retour avec nous ce
Welcome,
soir.
Claude.
Welcome back. Julien Wiseman-Vizna. Welcome back, Julien. Long time we don't see you about in the
Welcome,
last
Julian.
couple of days. We have Mr. Martin Bazit. Martin, welcome back. Bonne émission. Merci beaucoup, Martin.
Salut.
Patrick Lawhite is in the house tonight. What we got for him tonight? Bet of the night, Arias with 2 hits. And Euro Romania to bet Sir Cap for a great 4.8 goal show to all. Here we go, Patrick. Good luck, Mr. Patrick. You got it. Butch Bouchard
Blue Jays will
is
win.
in the house tonight. Butch is back in the house. Butch, always a pleasure having you. Leon Renault is with us tonight. Leon, what happened to you? I didn't see Leon yesterday. Is that right? I did not see.
I don't think so. I don't think he was in there last night. But
Game number
maybe I'm
7,
wrong.
Mr. Enortap. Leon in Winnipeg. What he can do on Monday night?
Oh, there's lots of things to do. Yeah, especially in Winnipeg.
Maybe he was at the class of the cooking, Mr. Enortap.
You never know, Coach. You know,
He will maybe
different
would tell
strokes for
us.
different folks.
Well, maybe would tell us. AI back in the house. Bonne Saint-Jean en retard, pas de problème. AI, la Saint-Jean était pas mal bonne à Thaïlande. William McClary, Mr. Enortap, is in the house tonight. William, always a pleasure
Welcome,
having
William.
you about that one over there. Patrick Lawhite said Trissadot played with broken ribs and McDavid expects surgery for an abdominal.
Abdominal. Yeah,
There we go.
abdominal problem. Yeah.
Our friend Gary from Ontario, I believe,
think
is in the house
it
tonight.
requires surgery,
Gary,
so-
doing well. Bush asked us this question right away, Mr. Enortap. Will Ken Hughes move up from the 26th overall pick, Mr. Enortap?
It's hard to say. I think that's what his intention might be. But you know, to consummate a deal it's not going to be easy to do. I think that's the intent. So I think he'll try to move up in the maybe late teens is my guess. But if not, they're going to obviously try to use that or maybe package it up with something else and try to get a prospect that they can use right away.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this. They can use a package deal with 26 to go maybe at 10, 12, 11, 13.
Yeah.
Or they can maybe go from 26 to 18, 19, or 20. Or they can take the 26 to make a trade with something else to bring a prospect like Alex Newhook example happening last season. So that's the way Bush had 3 options. I think the chances for me is only 30% they're going to select at 26. I expect something will happen with Ken Hughes
Some kind of
about the
movement.
pick number
Yeah.
26. So we'll see what happening there. Luc Laforcé, notre ami Luc dans la Lange Gardien, est de retour avec nous ce
Mon
soir.
ami.
Très, très bonheur. Il est de bonheur. Mr. Enortap, we have to go all the way to Japan. We have 2001 Ex-Stallion at Ex-Stalinis, something like that. So I apologize. Try to...
Alionis.
Here we go. Here's my neighbor. Japan is over there. That way.
Out that window? Out that window?
You drive that way, you go that way, but then you have to turn, but that's the way to go. One
For
thing
us, we have to dig. We have to dig to
Japan
get-
like what you are. So that's a good thing about this.
Okay, that's good.
William said the cap increasing another $93 million. We're going to talk about this the next couple of minutes. Don't worry about that. And Luciano is in the house tonight, the moderator of the chat. Luciano is the only one predict the Florida is going to win the Stanley Cup in October. Congratulations. Dan Asham, the neighbor of Leon Renault, is in the house with a beautiful Colette, both of you. Hopefully you have an amazing, great day over there. Arjun Calabro is early tonight. Already give us some updates, scoreboard with Casey the middle of stade. We're going to talk about this in the next couple of minutes. Zev Lacave knocked the door tonight, Mr. Zev. Hopefully doing well. What about Mr. David James Chartrand? Back in the house tonight. David is a big fan. Number 1 is Mr. Enortap. And we have Bob Ultraman. He's in the house tonight, Mr. Enortap. Remember Ultraman? I think it was this. If I can recall it, Ultraman, Mr. Enortap, he was like this. But
It's possible. I don't know that one, to be
Well, Luc
honest with you.
Laforcine should confirm this, Mr. Antap. Ultraman was
Luke can
a French
confirm
TV
everything.
show Saturday morning at 9 o'clock or Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. It was coming from Japan. And they are all the, iron something in it. Ultraman. Something like that. Rain in the house tonight. Rain, hopefully doing well. Thanks to see you around. Look at the devil. This out. You are down if you do. Down if you are down. Here we go. Look, you have right. Mark Elliott knock the door. Thanks so much. Does Marco still want to trade
Welcome,
Guhle
Mark.
to move up in the draft, Mark? But the answer of your question, Mark, come back tomorrow night. Because Marco will be with Frank tomorrow night, guys. The hockey Montreal now, or is it hockey Montreal? Or is Montreal hockey now? Frank's return for the second time. Frank is going to become co-host of the next season full time with the Hockey Nation. So 5th anniversary is coming in September. We have new people going to join, and we have Elite prospect. I don't know if you know this, Mr. Tap. We're going to get some line about this for everybody in the chat. You deserve to know a little bit more what's going to happen in September. We have an agreement with Elite Prospect to become not a kind of sponsorship, but a kind of agreement between us and the Elite Prospect. We're going to promote more the Elite Prospect. And we have two special guests for that. Cam Robinson and David St. Louis are going to join us during the season in 2024, 2025. Two great experts for NHL draft, and can't wait to have both of them. Obviously, during the time of the year like this, they are busy left and right, but two people of the Elite Prospect with Mitchell Brown, really known as the Elite Prospect. So I just want to mention this, so I think it will be great for the channel for the upcoming season. But we have to go to Colorado, Mr. Enortap, because our friend Steve G is in the house tonight.
Woo!
Welcome back, Steve G.
Welcome,
Is the name
Steve.
Enortap because his patron in reverse Enortap love tequila. Here we go. Oh, here we go. That's good to see that.
Steve knows everything.
Martin said, will he trade Guhle or Madison for another first rounder?
Will he trade Guhle or Matheson for another
First rounder.
first round pick? Okay. Well, I mean, obviously the price has to be right, and I wouldn't touch them right now, especially Guhle. I think that he's going to be a stalwart for Montreal in the future. He already is sort of establishing himself as that with Montreal, but Matheson, I feel a little bit differently about. And again, not because I don't like him, I like him a lot. It's just that I think we've probably seen the best you can get out of Matheson this year, and part of that is based on the amount of time and the different situations that he got ice time for, especially on the power play, and so his production went up. And so I'm always of the mindset, if you have a player that is not going to be a part of your future, and we know that, let's say 4 or 5 years down the road, he's not part of this team. Why not try to sell high if it fills another need on your team? And so if you can get a top 6 for somebody like Matheson, a very good deal. Again, I'm not trying to push them out. I would still like to have them, but if the price is right, why not?
Yeah, I don't think so. For me, that answer we said if they trade Guhle, example, or any defenseman of that prototype of Guhle, it would be for something in return, a guarantee player in NHL. So it could be Guhle for Martin Nichas, example. That's a 1-to-1, but that would be the if they make that trade. I would be shocked, but that's something. For Mike Madison, he does not get anything top first 15 in NHL first round pick. So I don't think it will happen for Mike Madison to get like 13, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. If you look about those teams anyway, you cannot get. Now you can do a package deal, but I don't think so. I think Mike Madison bring a lot of things for the Montreal Canadiens, and to losing him would bring a bit more concern for the defensive side. They're already 25th in the NHL at this moment. Imagine if you remove Mike Madison, it's not a good sign. I think for precaution, they will wait to see what could happen with Mike Madison, and that would be my request. I think Mike Madison is going to have a better value next year. Why? Because he's going to have another good season. He's not going to drop from 60 to 30 points, right? He's going to have a great similar season. Secondly, he's going to be on his final year contract. Thirdly, he's only at $4.8 million. So in Montreal and the February trade deadline and 2026, I know it's so far, but after the season next year, so it'll be 25, 24, 25, 25, 26, right? When it would be that time, Montreal going to know exactly who they are with the defensemen. They know where there will be the ceiling on Rebacker, Mayu, Guhle, everybody like that. And I think that would be something they will targeting about that. His value will be written better on that one. So for me, that will be the best answer I can give for Martin about that. Great question, by the way. William said, unlike last year, there going to be movement at this year draft. Last season Cup winner have used draft pick as the trade capital. Great point, William. I expect, Mr. Enortap, for the first time, a lot of movement at the initial draft this year. Already start this week, by the way, Mr. Enortap. So you can see, I can wait. He's going to have a lot of, holding at the table, the phone ring, and then nobody's going to run right away at the podium, like we said. Makudarabi, Mr. Enortap, is on the house.
Hey, Marco. Coach, I thought the timing of that trade yesterday and the announcement was a little bit suspicious, a little bit of a shot to Gary Bettman because he's asked in the past that no trades be made on the day of a Stanley Cup final game, and 15 minutes before the game we hear about that trade. So with Markstrom, so interesting.
Here we go. Ronnie Odette confirmed Mr. Enortap. Coach, yes, Coach, you're right, Ultraman. So I want to mention that. Yeah, I know my program.
You know you.
About that. Sharks is in the house. Thank you very much to join us tonight. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes if you don't mind. Canada from Japan. Yes, sir. Ultraman versus Godzilla. Look like King of Gamer, hi Coach. I'm at work, 15-minute break. Here we go, King. It's time to give us Fly some question right away. Ellen from Newfoundland is in the house. And then she's a travel nurse, if I can recall it. I don't know if she's traveling, but hopefully you're doing well, Ellen. And the weather is pretty nice over there. Welcome. Great to hear a little bit more about that. Au pays des géants aussi, dans notre jeunesse. Here we go. And the fifth round for Trussell, do you put that with the trade? David talked about possible to trade Caulfield, Rebecca, and the fifth overall pick for Trussell. Yes or no?
Ooh, no.
Yeah, I agree with you about that.
No.
Thanks, Marco. Why not trade Evans and Beck may remplace him, Butch? Why do not trade Jake Evans?
Well, they might, but right now I don't think first of all, he doesn't have a huge value on the market. I think Evans would be a guy that would be very valuable to a team that is going to be playoff bound at trade deadline time, maybe kind of like Colorado when they picked up Lehkonen. Same kind of idea. Of course, not as good as Lehkonen, but a guy that can win faceoffs for you, will work hard on both ends of the ice, and will contribute with the that odd goal that helps the team out in terms of their depth. So if he does go to make room for Beck, I think it'll be around that time.
You're absolutely about that. You need it, Mr. Enortap. I think they won't. If you get out Jake Evans, now you remove a center. What could happen with Christian Dvorak, New Hook, Doc, and Zuski? I think it's just for another precaution if you're losing one of them. And I think Jake Evans exactly at the traded line. I'll give you an example. Edmonton will benefit to have Jake Evans right now compared to Derek Ryan during the playoff this season. So I think you can get. I think the return will be very low. A return for Jake Allen, maybe a 4-round pick I wouldn't be surprised. That's maybe what I expect for Jake Evans in return. But that would be more the time at the trade deadline, Bush, to get there. The only way you're going to get Jake Evans out, Mr. Top, is really they know and they believe Owen Beck can already start with the Montreal Canadiens. Otherwise, I don't see this could happen about this. I don't think so. They want to put pressure on the young team, on the young players anyway. So
Yeah, that's the only way it happens, Coach. If Beck really pushes their hand because he's totally ready, and they gauge that at the beginning of the season, then it might sort of force their hand to make a trade. But otherwise, I don't see it. At least not until trade deadline time.
LDP back in the house from Newfoundland, and then you're absolutely right. I don't expect Caden Cody to be traded for the Montreal Canadiens. I think he's one almost untouchable players for the Montreal Canadiens. In my opinion, he will take and then like a crazy trade in return to trade him. I don't see that at all. Whatever they trade, whatever they pick a defenseman, I still believe they're not going to get. He's too valuable for the Montreal Canadiens, Caden Cole. He can play on the left side, he can play on the right side. He can kill minutes on the play again, the best player again, one versus, like an opponent team. Here on the first pairing, he can play minute on the PK, and he can add minute on the power play if you have a little bit more opportunity for him. So I think for him, no doubt in my mind, Caden Cole don't go nowhere with the Montreal Canadiens. And then, a lot of speculation, but I don't see that. I don't think. See, he have leadership. He's mature. This kid is going to be a solid defenseman in NHL. That would be a big mistake for the Montreal Canadiens to trade Caden Cole, in my opinion. So, David said I will game Caulfield, Rebecca, Jekai, and our fifth to Tresalo. I don't think so, David. I think you gave too much in return for Tresalo. Why? Because Tresalo is going to ask you $12-13 million right away. It will grab you about 9-20, maybe 14% maybe on the salary cap. It would be too much, David, to do that. You're losing a 40, possibly a 40 scorer goal. You may be losing a top defenseman first pairing Rebecca. You're losing a player at the third pairing. You'll be really play a big role for the Montreal in the playoff if they make it. And then you gave a fifth round pick. It could be a Dimitrov this year. So at the end of the day, I would not do it allowed. Madison would be a team if he was younger. Can you answer about this one over there? If not, like Hughes will trade Cody, however, if a striker another way to get a top 6, you maybe consider it a plan C or plan D. Yeah, I don't think so. I won't get a top 15, and no team would be interested in spending money on Madison. I think, Patrick, they will spend money. They spend money at $4.8 million. Patrick, it's really low.
It's a great value.
Right? Yeah. 60 points. The Detroit just straight Wildman, Mr. Enortap, to San Jose. He had 21 points at $3.4 million. So the contract on Madison is really welcome in NHL. It's also a good security. I think a team like Washington Capitals, Mr. Enortap, it will take Mike Madison.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
That will fit very well over there. They will try to trade Jensen right now, and I think Mike Madison, Washington will be a good asset. Again, we can go all the way like that. No, Patrick, the minute that Madison is low cap hit, many consulting will value is not. Yes, I agree with you about this. Would Madison plus Barry a third round pick enough for the 6-7 pick? No, Mark. Not enough.
No,
Mark, to get that one over there. 6-7. You talk about Utah. You talk about Ottawa, I believe, right?
Yeah, Ottawa's up there too. They're Utah, Ottawa, Seattle.
Yeah. I don't see that. Ottawa don't need Madison. Utah could use a Madison, but he already has Vince done, so I don't see that. As Kraken, I apologize. Utah, they have already Sean Dorsey over there. They would use this money, but I don't think so. Play on the bad thing or good thing will give Madison 25 minutes. I agree with you about this, Patrick. He will not get 25 minutes. I think he will play a 20, 22 minutes where it should be reasonable for him. But he will give you a great minute and return. That's the good thing about this.
Yeah, he'll eat up a lot of ice time. He'll contribute offensively, and to a team that needs a second pairing defenseman that can contribute on the second power play, that's a bonus. And I'm thinking about teams that are obviously playoff bound, and I would even go further to say are cup contenders for next year.
I tried to read Ellen about the possibility of AUG, so I don't know what it's about. And 26,
Hughes.
what?
Was it Hughes? I didn't read that.
Yeah, but what do you think about specific Hughes? Maybe, but I don't know what's the question about this. So, and then if you can do it again, if Hughes get an offer to likes, he need to trade the medicine on the matter. If some fans or some media hate it, but if you get the right deal, he will do it. Of course, and
Of
26.
course.
I think Hughes is not influenced by any fans or any media, everything like that. So I think he'll be.
He's
no
got
more
a
of that.
if I think, coach, if management is ever worried about the fan base or the media in terms of the decisions they're making, then they're not doing it properly. They know they've been in this sport for a long time. They know what it takes to build a championship. They know the players a lot better than we do and the media does. They have to act in terms of what's best for the team, and they usually do, right? If you're guided by the fan base and what they want or feel like you should trade, then you're destroying a franchise if you deal that way.
Do we see a defenseman trade at the deadline? Oh, King is asking this question at the deadline. Do you say trade for the defenseman?
At the trade deadline, yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. Like Savard, this is his last year, so there is the possibility that Savard could go at that point. He would be a solid, either second or even third pairing defenseman for a team that will help on the penalty kill as well and chew up some time as well, so that your top four defensemen aren't overworked without being a risk defensively. So somebody like him could go, like we were talking about earlier, coach, maybe Matheson at that point. You never know if the offer is right. That could go, but a little bit less likely than Savard.
Yeah, you can add also Aris Trouble, Kovacevic, three of them where they could, if they are not trade a Baron, if they are one of them are not trades on the summer, could be trade at the traded line. Why? Because now you go to know exactly if Rebecca, Mayu, and Hudson are going to be a little bit more ready, whatever it is. So I would not be surprised open spot over there, and they know they don't fit in the team. So I think there will be another older defenseman could be and move with Savard. So that's a good point about that one. Patrick Lavoie said that, and I want to get one. He said, but the 20-minute Madison is bringing are not physical enough. And you know what? Patrick, I watch a lot Edmonton Oilers. Do you think, Patrick, Evan Bouchard is better than Mike Madison? I ask you this question, Mr. Enortap. Evan Bouchard, do you think is better than Mike Madison? If he is, what kind of aspect of his game he has more than Mike Madison, Mr. Enortap?
Well, I think defensively they're very similar, but they have holes in their game there. Offensively, I think Bouchard has a bit more to offer. I think he's a true number one power play defenseman, whereas I don't think Matheson is, to be honest with you. And I think he's got a much better shot on the power play from the
That's
point
the
than
only way.
Matheson
That's
does.
the only friend
Yeah,
between Madison, Bouchard, and Enortap is a slap shot.
yeah. Well, yeah, I think youth. I mean, you have to look at that as well. I think he's a little bit younger, so he still hasn't reached his ceiling yet. I think Matheson. I think we've seen the ceiling. If anything, it might be consistent for a couple more years, and then it starts to drop. But Bouchard, I still think that there's room for improvement in his overall game. But yeah, you're right. There isn't a huge difference, but I'd still rather have
When you
Bouchard.
look at both of them, Mr. Enortap, Madison a better skater, carrying the puck more
Yeah,
at Bouchard,
slightly. Yeah, yeah,
right? It's rare Bouchard carrying the puck all the way. It's more about it's Madison carrying the puck. Bouchard have 82 points, but how many points he has on power play with McDavid at Twessaro,
right,
right?
right. Yeah,
If you look about his defensive side of the game,
not
Bouchard
as good. Yeah,
struggled a lot. Like yesterday, the first goal on the tip from Very, he's behind him. I can go all the way. Bouchard is struggled and defensive side. Now, I understand Bouchard is younger and Madison. My point behind that is Mike Madison, his value, what he bring, it's almost what Bouchard does with the Edmonton Oilers. They are similar. I'm telling you right now, other than the fact Bouchard have a great slap shot, the rest, I'm telling you right now, Madison's carrying the puck more. And I think that's pretty much it. And you have a players right now at $4.8 million. So for me, Madison have a good value and return. But
yeah.
yes, he played too much minute for the Montreal Canadiens because he's the team at the bottom and it's shot. Ali, until Beck is ready, I have no one to replace Evan right now. I agree with you, A2, about this. What is your opinion on the Hughes picking up Mac Duchene? So I will ask
It's not
that
happening.
question, then I'm going to answer it to you. What do you think about this one?
If I'm not mistaken, I think they signed him for 1 or 2 years again, Dallas this year, and that's where he wants to be. But I think they signed him this year, if I'm not
I don't think so.
mistaken. No,
I don't think so.
I
I could
thought
be
I
wrong
thought they
again.
did. Or yeah, have a look because I'm not
It's
100%
UFA.
sure on that. But
Yeah, he's still UFA.
oh, he is. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought they signed him during the
No.
playoffs. Okay,
They signed him a 1 year
but
contract at $3 million when he was buy out last year.
oh, right. Okay, maybe that's what I'm remembering.
Yeah.
But I mean, he does want to remain in Dallas, so I I think he'll take whatever to stay
The
there,
Dallas going to resign
and they
him,
have the
but
money.
I will said one more thing. He's turned 34 years old. I think for me, it would be not be. I would prefer the Montreal targeting a younger players and return for
Definitely.
that one. So I think that would be the way about this. Now he's become no a third line players, and Montreal have a lot of bottom six players. If he was really a better a player can play only on the top six LN, I would say yes. But because he play more on the bottom six now, he bring a lot of great things. Like he can play on power play. We're playing the Montreal Canadiens that way. But 34 years old, and again, like Enortap said, he wants to stay in South. He loves Dallas right now. He loves Nashville. His wife loved to go there. And but I don't see I don't see Shine moving in the North and Canada
Dallas.
after his experience with Ottawa. So I don't think so. Killer Rockton team, Mr. Enortap. Oh, Mr. Enortap. Kidders, the champions of the Hockey Nation with his Panthers. Congratulations, big fans of the
Congratulations.
Panthers. And hopefully you celebrate. Return of that, we saw the Stanley Cup, Mr. Enortap, at 7 o'clock this morning. Is it this morning? No. Yeah.
On the beach. On the beach.
Yeah,
Right?
they was walking on the street. They was at the lights across the walk. I think it was Boboski and Barkov. I cannot remember that one.
Yeah.
And Shine
They're
just
lost.
signed extension with Dallas for next year during the playoff. Again, guys,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I have the cap friendly guys. It's still UFA. So if he was signed, it would pop up here, but he's not there now. Maybe they have an agreement, Mr. Enortap and Marco, between both parties. It's not announced yet.
It's possible. It's possible.
Makes sense. Coach, would you resign Armia for another 2 years at $2 million, Mr. Enortap?
At $2 million as a fourth liner, Yeah, if it's for $2 million, I would. I think that's about the extent of how long we can take our Mia for, and then after that, I don't think he's part of the future. So that's a no
I
more
would
than
say
2 years.
I think the number and the longevity of the contract of the question is really good. Is exactly what I will go that way. Although after that, I will not go around over that. He's already at 32 years old.
Possibly, yeah, sounds about right.
31 going to turn 32. I'm sorry about that. So yes, yes, I will do it. But again,
Yeah,
it's another player, guys, on the final year contract at $3.4 million, right? And it could be really a good asset at the trade deadline if you have a good year. Again, like I'm talking about 15 goal. It's the kind of players on the playoff you like to have. Big body, protect the puck very well. This is a part of the player, Mr. Time you're going to laugh at me, will fit with a dollar star.
sure. Yeah, quite a few teams, not just there.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I could see him in Colorado too. Would be
yes,
a very solid addition.
like I always said to you, the dollar store would trade to you Radek Faska to get Armia. Faska run his last year's contract at 3.2 million. They tried to trade him, by the way, to drop a little bit more money on the salary cap. So don't be surprised. Faska is on the market right now to get traded for that one. So we'll see. Pittsburgh, Florida got rid of Madison for a reason. Both teams was dancing when they trade him. Patrick, I will give you an example. The Buffalo Sabres trade Montour. Patrick, you have one reason why they trade Montour. What do you think they trade Montour for? What, Patrick? They trade Montour because he was not fit with the Buffalo Sabres at the end of the day. And I tried to give you, Mr. Enortap, a Montour. And if I go with Montour, become a UFA, by the way, Montour. Not now. Montour, guys, with Buffalo, right? He has he was straight for the Anaheim Ducks, by the way, to the Buffalo. He has 18 point, 14 point, and 54 game. He have 10 point and 20 game anyway. My point behind that, him, Montour, when he showed up with the Florida Panthers at 28 years old, he stepped up. Like he find his career, Mr. Enortap, at 26, 27 years old. He is now at 20, he's 30 years old. So Madison, he really reached, is starting to be a better player in NHL at 28, 27 years old. Some defensemen step up late and during their career. That's Montour. That's a great example. So that's the reason he got traded twice also. But look what he did for the Florida Panthers now. So that's the reason behind that, Patrick. Back to work, King. I'll see you a little bit later. Victor Maxwell Chanel. Thanks so much, Victor. Hopefully you're doing well.
Welcome, Victor.
Darrell is in the house tonight. Welcome back.
Hey, Daryl.
Yes. Guhle is gonna get an A on Ed at some point. Here we go. This is a great point about this. And we talk about I talk about the leadership of Guhle. I will not be surprised, and then as a defenseman to get that A definitely for that one. For that,
totally.
without McDavid would be lucky to hit 90 points.
I doubt that.
Um,
He's the. There's a lot of other play. First of all, for the most part they don't play together. It's just on the first
well, they
power
get
play
a lot
line
of
that they
point power
do.
play. But Mr.
Yeah,
Tap, if you think about 90 points, it's a top. It's a lot of points. So I think as a guy, I would say to you, N26, I would say more will be lucky to hit 100 point. But without McDavid, the guy can reach 85 to 95, or my opinion, for that one. But yes.
I think he's talking about. Are we talking about the same person? I think
Trisaro.
he's talking about no McDavid. I thought he said McDavid would be lucky to get 90 points.
No,
Maybe I read it
Trisaro
wrong.
without McDavid.
Oh, without McDavid. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree with
Yeah,
him.
that I would agree. Yeah, that's better.
You know,
The
uh,
other way around, I wouldn't agree.
yeah, yeah, me too. Marco, biggest thing Guhle need to improve is his puck control. He seems in front a lot of trouble if he cannot move the puck out faster. About that, Marco.
And his upper body strength, I would say, and hopefully that's something that he's working on this summer, because a lot of times he was pushed off the puck rather easily, and we saw the extent of some of his injuries because of that. So I agree, he has to move the puck a little bit quicker out of the end zone, not hang on to it as long. But he also has to build up that upper body strength as well.
But I don't see is he have to he trouble if he can move the puck out faster. I think for me it's not that way. I would said he need to retrieve the puck properly the right way. So your position of your body versus the board versus the opponent players and the puck. So it's calling like angling the puck, right? Go and front angle to pick up the puck on your forehand, on your backhands, and to know what's coming behind you. So sometimes he's put himself on the bad situation, and it could get hit, and he could be hurt, or he lost the battle because he's not going right the way on the properly. When he get a puck, I have no problem with that. I think he's very good about this. I have no problem. Say is to get the puck. And when you get the puck after that, it's okay. But that will be something you have to get a little bit better about this on the puck result. The
Yeah,
team.
and also don't forget, coach. For most of the time, he's been playing on both sides, mostly on the right side to help out there. So he's on his off wing. It's not easy to make the adjustment sometimes. Not many defensemen can do that in the NHL, and I mean he can do it, but sometimes that's where we see more of the errors being made than on his correct side, which is the left.
Plus his young players, right? It's harder for him, a young
Yeah.
player. So he's really good when you think about this overall. When he said the team that we saw in the final Florida Edmonton as today, they are three teams with Florida. They are in the different league for Ronnie. Yeah, the Florida was really good about that. Until that, they see what Hughes will cook. Madison was always a problem for team who can carry him at the second pairing, Pittsburgh and Florida. The problem, Patrick, when he played with Florida, we have no defensive over there. And when he played with Pittsburgh, you have Carlson and Letank in front of him. So when he played with, who was with him? His second year, he have a great year with Pittsburgh.
With
Defenseman on the right side behind the tank. Cannot recall it. Anyway, you have a good year over there. I just think, Patrick, you're not recognized enough. At the end of the day, Patrick, you don't recognize enough Mike Madison. That's my point behind that. You believe he's not a good defenseman. 62 point in NHL. How many they have 60 point? Not many.
well, he finished.
At four
He
point eight
finished
million
what, eighth?
dollars, not many. So he have a really great contract. He bring a lot on the table for the Montreal Canadiens. So he gave a lot of service, and that's a good thing about this behind that. So, in my opinion, he's a good hockey player, and he fit very well. Now, he get a lot of point power play. He will tell me that. How many points Evan Bouchard get on power play with the Edmonton Oilers? How many points OZ get? All those power play number one get point on power play. It's equal of what they bring on the table. Now, I can understand Mike
For sure.
Madison is not Victor Edmond. But for what he brings for the Montreal Canadiens, for what he does for the Montreal Canadiens, and this he does his job, and he have only a contract at $4.8 million. This is excellent. It's perfect for the Montreal Canadiens. They are on transition anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't see any problem with that part. Now, the value Mike Madison, right? I believe he is a first round pick in return right now, but not at the top 15. I think you can get a 23, 24 to 32, 35 early second round pick in return for Mike Madison. It would be Mike Madison right now at the traded line, Mr. Enortap, he get a first round pick.
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah.
That
I
definitely.
mean, think of some of the trades we made the last couple of years that got us the first.
That you
They're
think
at
about
par.
this, you're going to get a 26, 27, 28. Those team on the trade line are going to make the playoff and they consider to go deep. So that would be that way over there. Blues or Minnesota, Nicholas will come back and out, will be a great fit for Madison. Borden and Madison could be a borderline elite for Minnesota. Yeah, and it will fit for Minnesota because the salary cap problem they have for the next year again with the 14 million dead money for that one. Now for the Blues, Nicholas, the problem with the Blues, they have too many defensemen. Perico, Krug, just Falk over there. And they have similar players for Madison. So I don't think so. It would
And
fit
they're older.
with the Blues at the end of the day, in my opinion. They already have a ton of defensemen over there, similar I him. Tony Crook carrying a $6.5 million, I believe, right now. Same thing with Justin Falk. So it's not properly the right way over there for the Blues. I agree. And then if it's not for Suzuki, Guhle is way more a leader on the ice. Suzuki.
Sure.
Yeah,
He's a good
it's
leader.
different
He's
thing,
without a
different
doubt.
kind the leader, but I think Guhle is a prototype, a great leader. Mitchkov shoot a score LDP. I think Ellen mentioned too. You think Hughes will go after Matt Shine? Yeah, Leo. We talked
Yeah,
about
we
this
answered.
earlier. I don't think so. He would go that direction. I think answer that one. Ronnie, Florida, Edmonton, Dallas, Colorado, Hurricane. These teams, as of today, are in another league, and the team are close to be in the top five Vancouver Rangers, and the rest of the team are on the same level. I will say to you, Vegas is right
That's a
there
possibility.
for that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Winnipeg, at the end of the year with the lineup, it was pretty good there too.
Depends what they do with some of the free agents, right?
Yeah,
Are they going to sign guys like Monahan and Toffoli? We know that right now there's some turbulation with McGroarty, so there's something in the works there for sure. As a matter of fact, I would either expect something to happen before the draft or during the draft with McGroarty. Perfetti, I'm pretty sure that they want to keep him, so he's going to be moving up on either on at center or on the wing, possibly the wing, but he just doesn't have the size really. I don't. It's a tough one, Perfetti, because he should be a top six coach, but right now he's playing more like a bottom six with the production he's getting, and it's too bad because if they move Ehlers is another one, then maybe that opens up a position for him to move up.
Jimbo is in the house. Welcome back, Jimbo. Tim, the Cup is in Florida for a long time now. 3 times in the last 5 years, I can recall it. Bouchard as a Guhle get open often, way more dangerous to get to the net. About that, Patrick, like I said, Bouchard have a great slap shot like Shea Weber.
Yes.
That's what Bouchard make a big fun there. Madison is a better skater. I agree with you. Madison only reason is gathering the point he did this year is he play on the 1 point man power play and play on the 2 minute. But it's same thing with Bouchard. That's my point behind that. Same thing with Bouchard. No offense, but based on the which player team would want to team would choose Madison over Bouchard. Interesting. No offense, but based on the which players team will want to team, no team will choose Madison over Bouchard. Yep. Madison is so over rate in Montreal. Oof.
No,
Again,
no.
again, remove
Is
medicine.
I would say, coach, yes, he's playing above the level that he probably should be. He shouldn't be your number one and necessarily your number one A on the power play. But that's what we have right now, and that's what's drawing a lot of ice time. So if what he means is he's overrated from that perspective because he's playing a little bit out of his chair, then I would agree with the statement. But to say that he doesn't belong, in that top echelon, I would disagree with that.
Marco still believe they extend him during the playoff match sign. So
No, I
again,
don't think. Well, that's what I thought too, but maybe it's wrong. It's
yeah,
I think maybe he expressed desire to sign on for the remainder of the time.
Bob Ultraman said, "What do you want? What do you do with Anderson, Mr. Top?"
Well, I mean, I'd like to think it can't get any worse. So, I mean, you have to sort of be patient and see what he's going to contribute. Hopefully, he had a good summer. I heard he got married as well. So, if he's properly mindset now, his mind is in a proper place now, then that could help immensely. Like you don't just all of a sudden forget how to score. He had a lot of bad luck last year, but it came a point where his mind wasn't in the game, and you could just tell because some nights he would totally disappear, and he was very predictable in terms of where he was going to skate to, what he was going to do. He didn't really go to the net as much as he possibly could. As a matter of fact, he avoided it. A lot of times, shots were from the periphery most of the time. So I think if those are just small adjustments that he makes in his game, he will definitely improve this year. But I mean, don't expect 20 or 25 goals again. I think if we can get him back to about 15 goals, that would be a huge improvement.
For me, it's not about the goal right now. For me, it's about what he can play his role with the Montreal Canadiens. So for me, is a guy is a 6'3", bring physicality, bring a lot of forward checking, and whatever he play on the third line, I think he could be a good fit for the Montreal Canadiens. Gallagher bounced back with 16 goals this year. Armia scored 17 goals. I think Anderson can do the same thing. But again, have a specific role with the Montreal Canadiens and don't expect anything else. Do your 3-4 hit per game, and you win your game with the details of the game. So put this your checklist tonight. All right, you're going to play 15 minutes per game. You're going to get that 3 hit on the net. You're going to have 2 shots on the net, 3 hits for the game, 2 shots on the net. Those side the stat like this, an assistant coach, Mr. Enortap, sit with the players and they look about this one over there. And maybe 2 shots in front of the net, example. And those information, that's where you're going to get the mindset of Anderson. He got married. Now he's going to have a new life, and I wish the best for him. He's not right now on the great value to be traded. A 3 years contract at what $5.5 million is too much. But
5.5.
starting next year, he's looking better. With 2 years contract, he have a good year. I think he could be a good place. The salary cap increasing, so I think Montreal could trade him at some point the next 2 years. Until then, I don't see what could happen about that. Willie, my dog Snutter is in the house. Where Rodney Redcliffe is in the house tonight. Rodney, hopefully you're doing well. Jimbo Giordano is available. Ronnie Gallagher out, Anderson out. Cap Relate says show you have free for showing. That's my point behind that. So I don't know. It would be okay. Just check what's wrong on Shine. He mentioned it in the interview on Hockey Night during the playoff. Guess he's not official. Yeah, like I said, it could be an agreement there, but I didn't see that yet nowhere. We need a new power play coach, Ronnie.
I don't think we need a new power play. We just need the right players in the right positions. And I thought we started to work towards that last year. And we need a better second power play unit as well. We
Yeah.
can't rely two full minutes on the first line.
Jimbo said, with the app spending millions of bill a draft a development system, they have to provide a path forward to their players to understand if the system work or how they improve it. I'm sorry about this, Jimbo. They are on the process. It's just the beginning of the development progression. Some of them will be 2 years now. They start the third year. So I'm talking about the Guhle example, Sakoski, third year, Coffee is 4 years now. And then you have to get the second year for Rebacker, Mayu behind them. That's why Joshua West another one for that one. Amir, bye-bye. Take young gun, Martin, about that. Mason need to learn to pivot on his power play so he can pass to Sakoski about that one. Connor McCarfield, here we go. Warrior Slavin is a positive for the Montreal Canadiens. Connor McCarfield, I like that one. Welcome in the house. Zeliev is going to have another interview with Montreal Canadiens during the week in Vegas. His name possibility. I still believe he will be out at the top 5, but we'll see. We're supposed to do the list of Bob McKenzie,
Yeah. We haven't tackled any of our topics tonight.
but the people bring a lot of great things over that. Not a new power play coach. We need more an improvisation power play. Power play was too predictable. I'm not disagree with you, Patrick. About it. Amir would be more for sure at the trade line. I think so too. Are you going to get a better asset for Amir? I don't think so. I think Amir can bring a 4-round pick in return. You can go third-round pick if he scores 15 goals, 20 goals. But I don't think so. I would rather have a non-liability on non-liability. Amir is okay for one more year. After that, you move on from him. Don't trade him for another team. Disappoint project. I agree with you about this here too. Gary Connery knocked the door. Welcome back. Question: my gut feeling: the ad will draft a defenseman at number 5 for that one. Victor Maxwell. I prefer Montour to Madison. I will say to you, yes. Also, my point behind that, Patrick, both of them are really 2-second pairing in NHL, but they increasing their career or better career late at 27 years old. Victor, you're welcome. Randy Walkman is in the house. Walkman, Randy, welcome back.
Welcome, Randy.
Which team picking before the ad do you find the hardest to predict what they will do?
Oh, I would say probably right now, I would say Chicago, because it's either they're going Demidov or they're going Levshinov, and that's the biggest piece to the puzzle. I would also say Columbus to a lesser degree, because even though I think they'll probably end up going forward.
He said one team.
Yeah. Well, those are the two big ones. The other ones are predictable. Like, you know that where San Jose is going. You know where Anaheim is going.
Where Anaheim's going.
And Chicago.
Where Anaheim's going.
Anaheim's going to defense, for sure, 100%.
Which defenseman?
I would say if Chicago goes Demidov, they're going to go Levshinov, in my eyes.
Okay, but if Levshinov is out, what Chicago, what Anaheim does?
That's a good question. That's why I say Chicago's really a difficult one to predict. I would say Chicago's about, in my eyes, I think they're 70-30. They're going to go defense.
All right. So for me, I would say it's more Anaheim. Because we know Chicago have two options. It's Dimitrov or Levshinov. So
right. Well,
if Dimitrov is out at Chicago, Levshinov is number 3. That's simple.
Yes.
But if Levshinov is out at number 2, that open the door for Dimitrov number 3, or Zeliev at number 3, or Pat Verbeek does not like any defense. He does not like any Russian players. He will maybe go with a Biome, or maybe a Dickinson example, or maybe a Lindstrom.
I agree.
So for me, it's really Anaheim, because if they get Dimitrov and Levshinov is out, or if you take Levshinov, you go with, and then Anaheim go with a player I just mentioned to you. Now, Columbus, them, they just sit on the driver, on the bus. Because said, you know what? If Lindstrom is there, if Selyev is there, I miss another players, they're going to pick
William.
one of the three players right there. So this is what the reason I said Columbus, it's not a big deal for them. It's more Anaheim from the Chicago. If Lechinov, Anaheim is really, is for me unpredictable. I don't see Anaheim said, oh, we're going to take Dimitrov right away. Or he said, I'm going to take Silien. Or, wait a minute, we don't want Russia. And that open up. Because if Beyond go to number 3, Mr. Tap, number 4, you have Lindstrom, Dimitrov, Ziliev. Montreal Canadiens could have 2 choices at number 5 between Dimitrov, Lindstrom,
And Lidstrom,
or
Iginla.
Ziliev. Iginla, Mr. Tap,
won't
is
go
not
so
dog
bad.
fight. It would be very bad to pick Iginla number 5.
Yeah. Well, possible. Yeah. There's a possibility.
I
But
would not-
again, I think what we're both saying is Chicago's the one that's going to dictate what's going on. So they're really the wild card. It isn't Anaheim. Anaheim knows what they're going to do. It depends on what Chicago does. So Chicago's the wild card here.
But if Chicago
my
go
eyes.
Dimitrov, that complicate Anaheim. If Chicago, if Chicago take Dimitrov, it's easy. Linchenov go to Anaheim. That's
Yeah,
easy.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Columbus have Ziliev or they have Lindstrom. That's it. And then Montreal Canadiens could get Lindstrom, or they could say, wait a minute, if Lindstrom go number 4, Dimitrov number 2, and Celebrity number 1, now Montreal Canadiens have to pick Seneca, Iginla, Catton, Arizona example. Right? And then, or they're going to get now Bion, Parek, Dickinson. That's it. Because now Ziliev is out. And then that's what happening there. So really interesting what could happen at that draft pick. So we'll see.
It will be.
We not touch Tressadot, very confusing players. What would Caulfield bring to the Habs and the trade, Mr. Antap?
I'm sorry, who?
Caulfield.
They're not going to trade him.
What you
They're not gonna
would
trade
you
him, so.
Caulfield bring to the Habs? What would bring Caulfield? Caulfield, you bring him a first one pick first of all. Look about what happening. Example, Butch, the trade for the Cat with Ottawa, Mr. Tap. If I can recall, it was a first one pick, a third one pick, right?
Yeah, goal scorers are in great demand, right? Like we're talking about, being able to put the puck in the net, and look at how many people have been talking about Yzerman as well, even though he has some parts of his game that aren't developed yet. Scoring's at a premium. He's going to demand quite a bit, but I don't think it happens. Montreal's not going to move Caulfield.
He got a first round pick, a second round pick, and a 4th-round pick. And then he was traded to the Detroit with a first round pick, a 4th-round pick for Dominic Kubilik and Donovan Sebrenko for that one. Great point about this. McDavid will have less point without Tressador for the Bunny House. I'm not concerned about Tressador. When McDavid was injured, he did end up at winning the Hart and the Hart Ross. For Montreal should sign everyone, Randy. Chicago, I think they should get a top deep, but they may have hard to pass on. McDavid, Nate Moore, Tressador, Nate McDavid, Patrick Lawhite. Wow. I disagree with you.
Me too. I mean, McDavid is in the same stratosphere as the elite players in the NHL from the past. And you could use the argument, well, he hasn't won the cup yet. Well, for sure, but he's also not at the end of his career. So that's a conversation to park for for the future. But in terms of skill level and what he's accomplished and the records he's broken along the way, he's an elite franchise type of player.
Look, Trossard 1 goal in the last 11 game. He had 9 straight game with no goal. One is the biggest moment of their career. Trossard was no found to where he was at the end of the playoff 2024. Like he got 3 assists, Mr. Enortap, and the Stanley Cup final in 7 games. Leon Trossard.
Yeah.
So it's nowhere. McDavid would be fine without Trossard. I'm not sure if Trossard would be fine without McDavid. Now, said that, they will have a two great season, but at the end, I think McDavid will have more points at Trossard.
Oh, for sure.
The draft and the trade will fit the old and the Amazon roster. I would stay away from the free agent Gary Connoyer. I was announced a couple of hours ago. Trossard was play injury, broken ribs. About that, yeah. But same situation with McDavid.
Yeah.
McDavid turned Hyman into a 50-goal scorer. No one predicted he would score like he has. A great point about this.
Not the Leafs, that's for sure.
I agree with you about that one. Pedersen played with Letang, yes, in 26. I was thinking about the second pairing with Madison. Remember? The right defenseman behind Letang. Cannot recall it. I'm going to get it a little bit later. And maybe it was always
was
one.
It Mata?
I'm sorry?
Was it Mata?
No, Mata was gone.
He was gone already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time I will consider here, guys, but I'm going to get it a few minutes. And I'm going to get on the Pittsburgh. It's how we're going to lose cap friendly. It's so easy to go. McDavid make Hyman a 50-goal scorer. I was a Montreal probably the chairman is also responsible for it. That been bad. He played every single minute of it. Who was all one, not Hyman? Who was always not one Hyman? It will Montreal as the best contract. Try to get anything. Not the anything. Another better McDavid is easily better get Trossard in 26. Madison is the best puck moving. And the defenseman name another one of the Montreal Canadiens. Madison is a good player. He will be a better player with less ice time. He was played too much. That's why he has some brain fart. Great point about this. I think, like I said, at 23 at 24 minutes, Mr. Enortap, I think that would be the most minute.
His maximum. Yeah, that's his maximum. I mean, it's clear that he was playing too much on every game, and no doubt about it. Even if they went to overtime, he was on the ice, and pretty much you don't play with 3 or 4 lines when you're in overtime either. So he's on there quite a bit in overtime as well.
John Marino, Mr. Enortap.
Marino, yes.
Yeah. Great comments in the chat. I agree, and I said, but Trossard is also helping out, removing a lot of pressure on McDavid. Is Allen going to be resigned? Is there a space for him or be traded? Victor Maxwell. Great point. I think they will try to trade him. Like I said, Victor, the best trade for Montreal Canadiens with the Kings. That reminds me, Mr. Enortap, remember Guillaume Latendresse struggled after a great start with the Montreal Canadiens, where he got traded for Benoit Pouliot for the Minnesota Wild many years ago, right? 2 first-round pick. Pouliot have a good start, did not do well after that. Latendresse start very well, did not do well. They make a trade, that's it. For me, Jesse Adenin should be traded to the Kings. The Kings should trade Kaliev to the Montreal Canadiens. And both of them are RFA. Both of them struggled. Both of them are stuck in the and the bottom of their team. I think new scenery, you never know, could happen. It could be benefit for both teams. And I think that would be the best thing about that. I don't know if you want to add something else.
No, you're right about that. Absolutely. Yeah, let's move on with that.
Performance skating not good enough for players his size. About this one, Smoke is in the house tonight. You remember, Coach, 2 years ago, I said Ski will be a better player. Mitch Marner, Marner will have a more point, but Ski had more guts. Yeah, I think Ronnie Ski's become better overall. His 200 feet game is getting better. He's going to be more on the defensive side for that one.
More responsible.
This interview was very good. He was asked he had more wish. He said after his coaching and winning cup, he said, yes, I hope Winnipeg win a cup next year. Here we go. Coach, you said Vegas. I don't agree. Their best year are behind, just like Boston. I disagree with you, Ronnie. That team is full of players right now. They still have Max Stone, Jack Eichel, William Carlson. They have the top 4 defensemen, Theodore, Pietrangelo, McNabb. They have White Cloud, and their defense is good. They have now anything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now,
they're a solid team, Coach. They're a solid team, and they're not afraid to get a player to add on at the right time. So they've proven that over the last 3 or 4 years, and I'm not worried about Vegas. I think
they got Thomas Erdl.
Yeah.
So I think
who incidentally did not have a great year, but he'll improve his game.
I agree. Mark, welcome back. Mark, long time to see you around. Question is taking Dean Little with the Winnipeg pick too much of Campbell, Mr. Enortap?
Well, when we did our mock draft, I actually picked him at 26, and I said it's a bit of a reach. But you know what? He's a 6-foot Hulk, and this guy, if he's got very good hands for his size, he can skate well. And I know it was still at the high school level, but this guy could turn out to be the real thing. At 26, I would take that chance that he develops into a decent center for you.
I always said to add that I always said this is going to be a long project with Letourneau. It's not like a guy you can get out right away and you're going to get him. He's a great skater for his size, right? I watched many clips of Letourneau, and because his size when he played on that division on the college for AAA program, Mr. Enortap, he used his size example to cut in, right? He's coming from the outside, protect the puck, drop his shoulder, and because he's double size everybody cannot move him, so he was coming in and then put back top shell on the forehands, everything like that. So you go from the right, he coming in, but how he's going to carry on that now and the Boston College next year, that's my biggest question. How are you going to go this on the same and say when you see him on the USHL, he didn't adapt yet. So this is going to be a long project with him. I said that I don't think he's not going to be a bad player, but it's how his development progression is going to be, Mr. Enortap. So question mark with Letourneau. I will not take him at 26 overall pick. I still believe a lot of good other players. Amen, example, Basha could be there, and I think that would be a great play about this one. For that one. I delete my comments about Madison being so overrated, but it was still there for you to read. Oh, well, technology. Hate you about that. It's okay. Don't worry about that. There are no second power play anymore.
No, not true.
He's absolutely right. So here's the point behind that. It's I will say to you, they have a 90-second power play and a 30-second power play after that. That's where they are. It's harder to get your second power play to score more goals. But in general, you're absolutely right about this. William McClary, talk about John Cooper. Yep. Listen, Coach, I thought you get Coach, I answer your email. Thanks so much, Randy. I got it. My friend, you set up is pretty well, and I thought did the same thing. And the first it would be hard to win 2 cup in the row. The last thing was Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. Ronald, you're absolutely right. The time, June 24, guys. Florida Panthers player have only 6 weeks to recovery. And Florida Panthers was been there last year in the final Minnesota. So the body can absorb at some point enough, but cannot do it again. So I'll be shocked if Florida return for the third time in the final.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that same effect with Tampa Bay. It's hard. It's a long season. You're putting anywhere between 20 to 25 games extra on your already taxing season of 82 games, and that shortens your summer. Your body has to recover, and doing it 2 or 3 years in a row, it's not an easy task.
Yeah, absolutely about that one. That Todd Lorette, I agree with you about Armia. Mark, about McKenzie list, I agree with you on that one. Try to pick up everything here. We get this one very quick. Everybody, don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. Here we go. We're going to go, Mr. Tab. We're going to be extend the show a bit more tonight. Special night, everybody. Have a fun subject. We're supposed to talk about fun things, but we're going to focus on about McKenzie for the rest of the show. If you have question, everything on the chat, guys, I'm about 20 minutes behind, 15 minutes behind. I apologize. But here's the list about McKenzie, Mr. Tab. Silly Bruni,
Yeah.
Timitab, Lechinab, and then Zeliev is open, Mr. Taft, at number 4. That's what I said earlier. Now Montreal Canadiens have Langstrom or a defenseman. And my poll question tonight is out in the next 10 minutes, guys. It's about are you willing or are you agree if Montreal Canadiens select Caden Langstrom, where Bob McKenzie select him on number 5? So you in the chat, guys, and Mr. Tap, give me your answer about this. Are you concerned? No, it's okay. And I can go from there, Mr. Tap, if you don't mind. The time you're going to talk, we're going to see Mr. Langstrom in action, Mr. Tap. So you have the time to talk about this if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, you have to look at the fact, Coach, that obviously when you're talking about a herniated disc, it's always a concern. I've known many players that have had that and have not fully recovered 100%. But having said that, you know that they're doing their due diligence. He's a player that's still growing into his body. He's still a young player. He hasn't even hit 18 yet. He plays a tough game. That's my only concern. Like he doesn't mind crashing certain areas and playing a rough kind of game if he has to. He gets himself in the right position all the time. He can set up players. He can score. Am I worried? I think I would change it to, has the team done enough research to justify picking him at that spot? So if I think Montreal if Montreal does end up selecting Caden Lindstrom because he's available at number 5, I'm trusting the fact that they've done their research and that they feel that the back's injury is not as bad as they initially either projected or people are rumoring that it could be. So if that's the case, and most of the scouts are putting it there, because remember when Bob McKenzie puts his list together, he's not really looking necessarily at the team that's selecting at that spot and who they're going to pick. He's just looking at the talent. He's looking at a number of different scouts that he has close contacts with and their opinions in terms of where that player belongs. And so his ranking is based on the skill level that those players have. So I would not be surprised if Montreal took him at number 5 if he's available, because I'm assuming that they've done their homework and that he'll be fine.
Yeah, great point about that one there. To see Sean Weber is instrument of fame. Mr. I tried to pick up everything in the chat. So Antoine said Marino. He answered me my question. And then we have people in the chat. I love Igala. Look, love him. So I said it for McDavid.
Yeah, yeah, Guhle, I love it. I love him too. I mean, I know you think it's a bit of a reach at five, coach, but I think that what he brings to the game, like you can't deny the DNA, and I think that those are the kind of players that in the end will be winners. And you need you need to surround your team with those types of players as well. So I wouldn't be hurt or shocked if Montreal went to Guhle, or disappointed for that matter.
Meanwhile, you can answer that. I'm going to fly the chat. Who would you rather have between Leonard or Igela? Rent Leonard last year or Igela this year?
Um, I would probably say Guhle, again for the reasons I just outlined earlier. I think he maybe Leonard would have brought even more size, obviously, and it's a different kind of player. I think Ginla brings more to the table than Leonard does.
Great point about that one over there. Marco asked you
One thing
this:
for sure. Yeah, go ahead.
if Montreal select Biome, do you think there are room for him and Hudson both together?
Well, we gotta see what happens with Hudson. Number one, number two is, um, I mean, what it does is it gives you more assets to sort of play around with if you had to. Now, I wouldn't necessarily do it. I don't think even Montreal would do it and take uh, Bouillon at number five. I know his stock has been rising lately, and I think last time Marco and I we did our 2.0, we both had him quite high in the top three or four, if I recall correctly. But the defensemen, there's very little to pick between. The five or six that are there. You look at Levshinov, you look at Silyev, you look at Dickinson, Bouillon, Perek. I mean, these are all solid defensemen. So they can go in any combination with the team. It's going to be basically, how teams feel they fit within their organization, and that's how they'll make their decision about that.
A lot of great comments in the chat. Great, everybody. Roger Delaney, welcome in the house. You know that, and yes, McKenzie guy is not like a mock draft. McKenzie pick up those information from the team, from scout, everything like that, and he makes his list that way. So he's a little bit more accurate like anybody else because he really go with the scout, everything like that. For what I can said, that's the people in the chat say the same thing. So honestly, you're going to see the same thing. I'm 50-50 with Caden Linkstrom, Mr. Enortap, for that. But
would you be 50-50 if there was no issue with the back?
I have no injury. I pick him. I really believe Linkstrom could become, for me, not a center, a big winger in NHL, like a Chris Creator.
Yeah.
He have a great shot. More I watch his video, more I said, wow, this kid he really step up over there. He also is a great maturity. He left his family. He have no dad. He 14 years old. He left a small city to grow, build a family. The family struggled to make him to have a good career in the WHL, everything like that. So hopefully, Mr. Enortap, and we don't have the report, right? So if Montreal, if any team, Mr. Enortap, select Caden Linkstrom, they're not going to select Caden Linkstrom to try to hit a home run and said, you know what? Well, maybe we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think the team won't select Caden Linkstrom. They got a report, the staff report. I'm sure they talk with the doctor. I'm sure they go deep on the what happening to the players, and then they will say, we are fair, we are fine, we know if it's happening. That's what my perception about my perspective about that player. So, but
And
Great
that's
skater,
exactly,
great shooter,
yeah,
great strength. I think it could
yeah,
become a Chris Creator on the left side. Again, Mr. Tap, quickly like
bigger
this.
or better.
They have a 6'3", what is 6'2", 6'3", if I can recall it. The chump is,
He's
he
he's
go up.
6'3", I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you have Kirby Dak at 6'4". You have Sakaski at 6'4". That's getting now to get a little bit more taller on the winger side on that one. So you have only Caulfield at 5'7", and then you have Zuski at 5'11", but he's bigger at the way there. So I think I have no doubt if they select Kaden Lakestrom is available to select him if they know exactly about the situation with the back, everything like that. That's my perspective about that.
yeah, and that's exactly how I feel about it as well. I mean, you know that the only way a team will take a chance is if he drops somewhere around, I'd say 8, 9, 10, or even lower. Then obviously a team will take him at that point because he's worth the risk.
Super chat.
There's that time. Roger Delaney did it again. A super chat.
Hey, Roger.
Roger Delaney. He did it again, Mr. Enortap. Roger Delaney, thanks so much for that one, Mr. Enortap. We hit the 10th. We're going to try to go very quickly. So what I'm going to do, Mr. Enortap, I'm not going to talk about the rest of the list of McKenzie from 11 to 20. We have Seneke there, captain number 12, Yakenchuk number 13, Ezerman Connelly at 15.
Yeah.
Verlander Singh at Detroit at 15. If they select him, Zilbert go at 20. Verlander Singh see that. But I want to talk about the pick number 26 for the Montreal Canadiens. Most of the fans want to see that. The Montreal Canadiens, McKenzie select from Finland, Emil Ekman, a big 6'1" right winger. Again, another big defenseman, big winger for the Montreal Canadiens. What do you think about Ekman?
Well, obviously, as you mentioned, he's a winger as well. He's got good size to him. Is I think he fits in well in terms of a depth role with the team. Uh, he'll help out, I think, the third line for sure. He has the ceiling to possibly be a second liner as well. But he forces opportunities. He's good that way. He creates opportunities for himself and for his teammates. I think he's a natural goal scorer as well. I don't think it's hard for him. He loves to shoot the puck, so rest assured he's the kind of player that'll get you 5 to 6 shots just about every single night. So the way he can score, he can possibly have a high shooting percentage as well. His instincts, like his hockey IQ, is very good. So it's not a bad pick at 26. I think it would suit Montreal well. He's also, at 205 pounds, he brings a bit of an edge that way as well. So not bad, not bad. I mean, I would say there's a handful of players that at 26 would suit Montreal well. He's probably one of the 5.
Yeah. For me, on that list, guys, just give you an idea when I said Montreal could jump in from 26 maybe to go 22 or 23 for Toronto Maple Leaf. And then they could trade maybe a defenseman
Michael
like
H.
Harris, Kovacevic, or Strobel to get that pick. And then you're under Boisvert, Baudouin, Age. And that would be an edge. That would be one I would taking if I was Montreal Canadian. But again, it's not a bad pick to get Emil Amen. Basha a little bit at 30, a little bit surprised to see him there over there. But yeah, I really like the pick about this. I'm going to jump in, guys, at number 57 for the Montreal Canadiens. He select Jacob Bataclia. It's a left winger, 6 foot. But I like on that one the right winger Adam Jeko at 6'5", or I think that's a great forward. The Montreal could look at about this. They have a lot of defensemen at 57 for it could be available too. like Gabriel Eliasson, a 6'8", Mr. Enortap from Sweden. But Marquez, I believe his last name, he's at 52-51. Hopefully, he'll be available at number 57. I'll not be surprised. The Montreal, like Camille Benaric, playing in the UHL, he's an underrated player with USHL. He played behind the best player over there, but I like his work ethic for them. Montreal also select at number 70 and number 78, Mr. Tap. At 70, I like the goaltender, Mikhail Yukhanov from Russia, playing the Omaha last year with the USHL. It's a big 6'4". That would be great if Montreal select another. Marquez, Mr. Tap, just talking about this, is number 67 on that list. So there. Yeah, Luc Meza, I think that's the one. The only problem with Meza is a small player. He's only a 5'9". That would be my only concern about this. 78, Montreal Canadiens select over there. Is another goaltender they can look at. So I'll not be surprised, Mr. Tap, at 70, 78, Montreal select a goaltender during that time of that one. So I don't know if you want to add something about the list of Bob McKenzie. I know we fly this, guys, but the chat was so good tonight talking about everything. So I don't know if you want to say something else.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, overall, when you look at some of the players that either showed increased ranking or decreased for that matter, it was quite surprising. Like, obviously, we talked about him earlier. Bouillon, I think, was one of those players. He was initially around maybe 13 to 15, and a lot of players or a lot of scouts now have him around 6 or 7. Michael Hage is another one that probably was early round, second round, and now they most, if not all of them, have him in the first round, and probably in the early 20s, thereabouts. Who else was a riser? Like Luchenko was another one. I think he was towards the end of the first round, and now he's around 20-ish, thereabouts. I think even when we did the 2.0 remock, I think Marco picked with his last pick. I think he picked Teddy Stiga, if I'm not mistaken, and that's another player that really has risen from late second round to I'd say, possibly early second round, thereabouts. So he's another one. There were a handful, and then the ones that started to drop, we've documented those already, but it'll be interesting how it goes. Like I said, we have to keep McKenzie's list a little bit in perspective, because again, it's he's always usually the most accurate in terms of the rankings, and it's based on the fact that he's spoken to so many scouts that are out there. But teams will possibly act according to their needs when it comes at certain spots. And sometimes that's all it takes is one team that makes a decision. We were talking about, just Chicago and how that would affect Anaheim at second and third. Imagine, the later rounds, you might reach for a player and that causes a domino effect with either, let's say, goaltenders or defensemen or whatever the case might be. So it could unfold in so many different ways. And there's a lot of parity once you get out of the top, I'd say 12, 13 that are ranked right now. So it could go in many directions.
Absolutely about this. And I'll tap about everything could happen right now. It's going to be very excited and very fun to see that. We're going to keep a couple of news about Montreal again tomorrow night for Marco and Franks about this. I want to talk about something could happen. What kind of move Hughes can do during the week? How they going to targeting fan players in NHL at the trade market about this. The last thing, we just finished this one, guys. They did it, Mr. Tap, and it's happened yesterday, and it was great seeing. Time of the history, 31 years in NHL to get the first Stanley Cup final, the trophy And this was great to see that yesterday. Captain Finland, born in Finland, Barkov, I believe he was a second overall pick. And this is
Mhm.
all under Bill Zito. And for the fans and the South Florida, again, another second team in Florida won the Stanley Cup after the Tampa Bay Lightning did it a couple of times, a couple of years ago. It was a great game, and it was fun to watch. And he took 7 games. That was great to see that. And for all the people, I got a lot of a lot of texts, and they was all celebrate and my text and tell me like, this is great, this is fun. And because many times I would tell them guys at the family or the young kid, now they are 20, 22. The best thing could happen one day to you guys if you go to at a Stanley Cup parade for your team. And this is going to happening now for the next couple of days for them. And they can wait to go there. Great for the youth hockey program in South Florida. People,
Absolutely.
ex NHL player are involved a lot over there. I'm talking example like Peter Worrell, Shepard is another one. All the Devo Rack is another one with the program AAA. I missed another one for Vacoon, the goaltender. Vokoun.
Raccoon, yeah, yeah.
Right? Then you have Okinen. Okinen left, but they are
Hmm.
still there teaching hockey. So this is great for the community of the hockey in South Florida. Congratulations for the fans, for the Panthers fans and everybody. And it was well done. Great season, 2023-24. And we passed the time. We could be here, guys, for a long time.
That's
A lot of
that's all
people
right.
about this. And
Look,
I'm pretty happy for Mr. Barkov. Barkov is very been
absolutely.
an underrated player in NHL, but he proved again, and then he delivery and they find a way. And the defense team is on top always win. And if you can learn to close to close a game by leap by 1 goal. And this is the most difficult thing to do in hockey. And they did it, and that's the reason they won yesterday because they find a way to close the game. Again, the best players in NHL, McDavid, Tressalo, and congratulations for the Panthers again. So I don't know if you want to add one more thing before we leave the building, Mr. Tap.
Well, obviously, congratulations to Florida and everybody on the team, the organization, the city. I think uh, it was well deserved. They played an extremely diligent game yesterday. I think the key for me was the fact that they jumped on the lead not once but twice. Right, even when Edmonton answered towards the end of the second, they scored that second goal. Yes, it was a miscue in terms of covering their man, and they left Reinhardt open. But the point of the matter is that once you get a team this experience that has been there before, and that's important too. They've learned how to lose in order to get to where they are. You know that they're going to clamp down in that third period. They are going to give you zero chances. And I think you mentioned that at one point, Coach, while you were doing the play-by-play. I think something like 9 or 10 minutes had gone by, and Florida didn't have a shot on net in that third period, but they weren't concerned with that. They knew they had the lead. They just had to make sure that everybody was accounted for. They were covering whoever they had to cover, no mistakes. Help out the goalie, make sure there's no rebounds. And you saw the last 25 seconds that puck got caught in the corner, and nobody was taking it away from them. That cup was theirs, and kudos to Barkov as well. I mean, this is the kind of player that when we talk about character and what they bring to the game, that's what you want on a team, right? It's yes, the points are always flashy, they're sexy. And having that 50, 60 goal scorer is always amazing if you can have it. But when it comes to the playoffs, like the biggest scorers were stopped, right? Draisaitl, Hyman, like these guys weren't scoring with the same proficiency that they were either in earlier rounds or before that. And if you consider the guys that Barkov covered during the playoffs on all four series that they played, and pretty much kept them at no points, it's to me, there's a there's a conversation to be had whether he should have got the MVP, the Conn Smythe in the playoffs. I mean, I totally understand what McDavid did, and I don't want to diminish that, but you can also make an argument for Barkov for sure.
And we're going to finish with the big news. Mitchkov is going to be in the NHL. His contract is terminated and now in KHL.
That's right.
I was wrong, Mr. Enortap. I was wrong. I never thought it would be in the NHL at least for 4 or 5 years. That's crazy to me about that one for sure. And
but you know what it does, Coach? You know what it does? It also pumps up the value of Demidov now, because teams will be a little bit less afraid if they have to pick him at number 2 or number 3. So I expect he'll be gone at that point. It's not going to be as much as I would love for Demidov to fall to number 5. I don't think it's happening. I think one of either Anaheim or Chicago or Columbus will snap him up for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be really. Now, ADP said Montreal miss it. Yeah, ADP, I think, many teams miss it, and not only Montreal.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Well, you miss it. Like, Mitchkov is going to be a very good hockey player.
Well, as somebody put, let's hope he doesn't turn out to be Yakupov.
I'm
not saying he is. Don't kill me.
I'm pretty sure Rebecca would be very good, but Mitchkov a star, Nicholas. Yeah, that's my...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see that. Mr. Enortap, we're going to finish the show friendly tonight. I got the 5-minute Sportnet of the playoff 2024. So usually we send everybody at the end, booyah, everything like that. So it'll be not the same way tonight. I'm going to let go the show, guys, with see the review of the playoff 2024. Mr. Enortap, it was a pleasure to have you aboard tonight. But we're going to finish this one, Mr. Enortap, because we can't leave you that way, because that's who you are.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Thanks so much, Mr. Enortap, again to deliver great content about everything we talk about tonight. I think I'm going to see you Thursday or Friday. I know Friday you'll be here. I don't know Thursday here.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry?
Yes.
Awesome. And then we want to thank everybody in the chat. Roger Delaney with the super chat tonight. Moderator Luciano, everybody in the chat was on fire, Mr. Enortap. It was fun to have even all of them in the chat. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8:30. Marco Larabie is with us tomorrow night, Mr. Enortap. And Frank's return for the second time with us. And that will conclude the show tomorrow night, 8:30. Thursday night, Michael Devilano, Enortap, and Marco join me. The preview NHL draft will be interesting to see the show. And Friday night, me and Enortap will go to carry on all the way. My mock draft finals will be out Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday, I'm working on my last part of my mock draft, Mr. Enortap. And that will conclude it for tonight. Be well, be healthy. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the first half of 1, Mr. Enortap.
You're 2024.
He did it again. Have an amazing, great night, Mr. Enortap. I will see you Thursday night. For everybody, I'm finished with the playoff. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Try to get that one, Mr. Enortap. The graphic. Where's the graphic? Here we go. Good night, everybody.
Hello, everybody. This is Bob Cole in the broadcast booth. What a way to get fired up again, coast to coast, on Hockey Night in Canada.
instinct here tonight.
You guys never give up. And you guys believe in each other. That's really what it comes down to.
You know you can do it. We know we can do it.
Play the right way, we just attack. Winning is hard, man. What is it? God, it feels good.
Here we go again. Where is the Stanley Cup going to take us this week?
The breathing, the timing, and the sounds you're creating. When you get 20,000 plus roaring after a play, it's perfect.